Permission to be Powerful is a reader-supported publication. To receive new posts and support my work, consider becoming a free or paid subscriber. Sometimes, people expect your kindness, but they haven't earned it. Quit letting those people walk all over you. Anton Feb, 07, 2025. We're taught from a young age to be nice, to smile when we don't feel like it, to avoid conflict, to make other people comfortable, even at our own expense. At first, it sounds like good advice. But there's a dark side to being nice. Some people see kindness as an invitation to use you. Some will test you, pushing your boundaries little by little to see how much they can get away with. And if you keep smiling through it, if you keep being nice even when they disrespect you, guess what? They won't respect you. Because deep down, they wouldn't tolerate that treatment if the roles were reversed. Why do we smile when we don't mean it? It's called the appeasement smile, an instinctive reaction when we feel vulnerable or powerless. You see it in nature. Submissive animals show their teeth as if to say, "I'm not a threat." Humans do it too. We smile at the coworker who just took credit for our work. We smile at the family member who throws passive-aggressive jabs. We smile at the friend who only reaches out when they need something. We do it to avoid awkwardness. But here's the brutal truth. That smile isn't protecting you. It's betraying you. It tells people, "I'm okay with this. You can treat me this way, and I won't stop you." The cost of being too nice. Being nice isn't free. Every time you ignore a boundary violation, every time you let someone talk down to you without pushing back, every time you give more than you receive, you're paying for it with your self-respect. Because on the surface, being nice might keep the peace. But inside, it creates resentment, frustration, and quiet rage. And one day, it explodes. Maybe you snap at someone over something small. Maybe you wake up and realize you hate your job, your relationship, or the way people treat you. Maybe you start questioning whether you even know who you are anymore. Because for years, you've been playing the role of the nice one. That's the real cost. The turning point. When enough is enough. At some point, you wake up. You realize that being nice has done nothing for you except make life easier for people who don't deserve it. You've spent years avoiding conflict, smoothing things over, pretending things don't bother you. And what did it get you? Were you rewarded for your patience, respected for your kindness, or were you exploited for it? Because here's the ugly truth about the world. People don't value what they don't have to work for. The more you prove you're a good person, by being endlessly understanding, accommodating, and forgiving, the more people take you for granted. They assume you enjoy playing the role of the emotional punching bag. They assume you like cleaning up their messes. And worst of all, they assume that because you've never drawn a line before, you never will. That has to change. And it starts with this. Your tolerance for bullshit has to hit zero. The power of an unsympathetic face. People underestimate how much their body language shapes the way others treat them. When you smile, even when you're upset, you're signaling that everything is fine. That's why manipulators love nice people. Because when someone crosses a line, and the only response they get is a nervous smile and a quiet nod, they know they can do it again. Now imagine what happens when you stop giving them that signal. When you stop laughing at jokes that aren't funny. When you stop nodding along when someone disrespects you. When you stop acting like everything is okay when it's not. You'd be amazed at how fast people start taking you seriously. Because suddenly, they don't know where they stand with you anymore. And that makes them uncomfortable. Good. But won't people get mad? Yes. And that's exactly why most people never do this. Because it will cause a reaction. The moment you stop playing the game, the people who benefited from your silence will notice. And they won't like it. Some will be confused. Some will try to guilt trip you. Some will lash out and call you mean, selfish, or rude. Why? Because they've gotten used to a version of you that serves them. And now that version is gone. But here's the thing. If someone gets angry at you for setting boundaries, for refusing to tolerate their disrespect, for showing less enthusiasm for their nonsense, that's not a relationship you ever needed in the first place. Real friends, real family, real partners, people who actually value you, won't be offended by your self-respect. The only people who get mad are the ones who benefited from you not having any. What happens when you stop being nice and start being real? At first, you might feel guilty. You've been conditioned to believe your job is to make other people comfortable. That's a hard habit to break. But if you push through that discomfort, something incredible happens. The people who only valued you because they could walk all over you, they disappear. The people who actually respect you, they step up. And the self-respect you lost, it comes back fast. Most importantly, you start feeling free. You stop dreading interactions with certain people. You stop feeling drained after hanging out with someone. You stop replaying conversations in your head, wishing you had spoken up. Because now, you do speak up. You do stand your ground. You do make it clear. I am not the person you can take advantage of anymore. And that, my friend, is the moment you win. How to keep your power and never go back to your old ways. Here's the thing about self-respect. Once you get it back, you must guard it with everything you've got. Because the world will test you. There will always be someone who tries to guilt-trip you into giving more than you should. There will always be someone who gets mad when you enforce a boundary. There will always be someone who wants you to go back to being easy to manipulate. And every time that happens, you have a choice. You can slip back into your old habits. Or you can remember why you changed. So when someone comes at you with the guilt trips, the passive-aggressive remarks, the temper tantrums, you stay firm. You don't explain yourself. You don't over-apologize. You don't let their reaction dictate your reality. You hold your ground. You let them be mad. And you move forward with your life, knowing this. Their disappointment isn't a sign that you did something wrong. It's a sign that you did something right. You finally stood up for yourself. And now, finally, you are free. Until next time, Anton Dancer, writer, Buddhist Permission to be Powerful, is a reader-supported publication. To receive new posts and support my work, consider becoming a free or paid subscriber.